the way we work to try and elicit choice creating, the way we use dynamic facilitation, is we assemble people in a half circle, and they are facing 4 charts. And we want people to work really with the feelings. We want to start with we want to follow the feelings. And so essentially we want someone or something to describe how bad things are. And so people kind of remember, oh, yuck, that's right. Climate change is really happening and it's really ugly. And we don't want a high-level cognitive conversation necessarily. We want it tinged with feeling. And then after we kind of get that down, we want to purge. We call it purge. Often these are the solutions that people have that are kind of keeping them from really taking in the depth of this problem and the new solution possibilities that might be there. So one purge might be, hey, there's no problem, or whatever even. But mostly it would be technological solutions are going to make the day. We're going to be okay. We're all doing fine, through technological solutions, or we're going to work locally. If we just do local food growth or something like that. In other words, lots of people have a set of solutions that they assume are going to make the day, and so we want to get each person's answer out. Here's my solution. And often what happens is we get each person's answer out and we kind of get it that, gee, this isn't going to do it, is it? And we help people kind of confront the fact that we've got this awful mess and we've got this set of solutions that really isn't going to work. So now there is a need to shift to creativity, and people do. But it isn't like they're shifting to be more creative. They're just doing their best. They're bubbling up maybe with a frustration or a fear or someone else, a concern. We turn that into a concern and put it on the chart. Or someone brings up points of data that are hinged. And we're really trying to trust that what's happening, what's going to come up as people think, is we're starting to realize that this is each thing that comes. Maybe the conscious mind doesn't know what it is, but there's a deep unconscious intelligence that's beginning to show itself. And we want to create a space for that. So we don't have a set of guidelines on the wall, for instance, where people manage themselves. We're trusting that, and yet we're also at the same time trying to protect each person so that when they are more authentic and more vulnerable, they never get hit with a judgment, that they're protected from judgment by the facilitator who steps in. If somebody wants to say that's a stupid idea or something, we jump in and we say, oh, you have a concern. Let me add that to the list of concerns. And maybe you have a better idea. Maybe you have some other solution. So what we're doing is just allowing and beginning to allow this wellspring of stuff that each of us has kind of an individual connection to. And the end result might not be a breakthrough solution, but there's a coming together as people begin to realize that each person can be authentic. They can just trust. They won't feel the pain of judgment. And as each person speaks, even though somebody's different, and this takes some time maybe, but as each person speaks really differently, there's an appreciation that begins to form of, oh my gosh, that's different and that's interesting, rather than the usual critical feeling or frustration. And the frustration's there too, maybe, but there's also this appreciation of other people as we, and there's a sense too, an appreciation as we look back. We can't help but notice that we're making progress. We're getting somewhere, even though it might not seem that. If we stop and look back, we're actually moving forward. And it's not like our conscious minds are in the lead. It's more that our unconscious connection is in the lead, our connectedness. And sometimes it happens slower and stranger than we want it to, but it's happening nonetheless. And the dynamic facilitator is assuring that there's going to be this tapping into this spot every so often, and that we'll see progress over time. And each time between sessions, our minds keep working and our hearts keep working, and we make connections. We go to the movies or take a shower, or something happens that triggers. And in these interim times, we make progress that we're not even aware of. And so it's really meant to be an ongoing process in a way, where we the people begin to, or whether it's a small group, it's a powerful we, or if it's a large system of people, it's we the people that's really in charge. That's who's supposed to be in charge. It's all of us together. We're in charge of this planet. And yes, we're turning things over to governments, and what kind of governments do we want to turn them over to? And we start recognizing our power and exercising it.